Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Wednesday the 25th of May 2022. In today's Millwall news, this Danny Ballard, news is broken about him. So what's happening? Millwall interested in signing Arsenal defender, but priority investment will be for attacking areas. Millwall are very interested in a permanent deal for Arsenal defender Dan Ballard after it was claimed today that the Northern Ireland international could be made available this summer. The centre-back spent the last championship campaign on loan with the Lions and was a regular in their starting lineup, only dropping out due to injuries. But the South London press understands the primary focus in this window for Millwall is to strengthen their attacking options and invest significantly in that area. Lions boss Gary Rowett has already highlighted the need for some quality additions at the top end of the pitch, especially with the risk that Jed Wallace will leave on a free transfer this summer. Millwall have offered Jed Wallace new terms, but he is free to explore his options and had been a top priority signing for Forest in the January transfer window. A deal could not be agreed between the two clubs. Ballard, 22, opted to sign for the Lions instead of making a loan return to Blackpool, who he won the League One playoffs with in the previous campaign. He made 30 championship appearances for Rowett's side. So what's happening here? So after it was claimed today that the Northern Ireland International could be made available this summer. So that's breaking from the Arsenal side. There's a reporter that follows Arsenal, and this is what he said. This is the original story that sparked it all, and then there's like loads of rewrites and stuff like that. This is goal.com, and this is what originated the whole Ballard leaving Arsenal. So the Gunners defender is attracting interest from multiple clubs both in England and abroad. Arsenal will sell promising centre-back Daniel Ballard this summer should a suitable offer arrive for the defender. Now what would that be? There's been some rumours online. It's 3 million, it's 5 million. Who knows, but that's definitely well out of Millwall's price range. The Gunners have held talks with the 22-year-old's representatives recently. Gull has learned that both parties have now come to a mutual agreement about his future. They've decided that Ballard will be made available for transfer only if the North London club's evaluation is met. So it seems Ballard's agent and whatever's gone into Arsenal. They've asked for a meeting. They've gone in and said, well, you sent him out on loan on League One. He's did really well. You sent him out on loan in the Championship. He did really well. The next step's in the Premier League. Arsenal, a Premier League team. Is he going to come in the Arsenal squad next season? If not, then what's happening? Because this is the time. And if you're not going to play him in the Arsenal squad, then let him leave. That seems to be what's happening. So Arsenal have been delighted with the progress Ballard has made during the past 2 years, following impressive loan spells Blackpool and Millwall, but they do not believe he will have a clear opportunity to get rid of the regular game time he needs to keep progressing if he stays in North London next season. Another loan is an option, but with 2 years left on his current contract, Gunners are now open to letting the powerful 6'2" centre-back leave permanently. So that suggests so he's got 2 years left on his contract. So if he does go on loan next season, and then he comes back, if he does really well again, maybe he goes on loan to a Premier League team, he does really well, then he comes back, and then what happens then? Are they going to give him a new contract then? Because if they don't, he's got 1 year left on his contract, and then the value that he has is kind of even less, because he can just sit out his contract and until probably for the 6 months till January, and then you can start speaking to other clubs from January, and then if you do get an offer for him in that January transfer window, he can say, well, actually no, I'm not going to go there because I've been speaking to these clubs and they've said they're going to give me this and this and this. If I wait until the summer and get free of my contract. So it seems they're not really wanting to keep him, and they figure, well, we'll sell him this summer rather than next summer because we can get more money from him, which again doesn't help Millwall's cause in re-signing him. Ballard made 33 appearances in all competitions for Millwall last season, helping them to a 9th place finish in the Championship. What interest is there in Ballard? Several clubs have expressed an interest in Ballard, who has already established himself as a regular Northern Ireland international despite never having made a senior appearance for Arsenal. Millwall are keen on bringing him back to the Den, but they will face competition from a host of other English clubs as well as some from overseas. While Arsenal are open to letting Ballard leave, they will look to have some sort of buyback option included in any deal. Well, that's weird. What's that about? Speaking earlier in the season, Arsenal's academy manager, Per Mertesacker, wrote a spoken glowing terms about the progress Ballard has made in recent seasons. You get players like Dan Ballard, whose development we're really proud of, Mertesacker said. He was nearly released twice to come back, work his way up and create a pathway for himself. I'm just so proud of him. He's now a reliable defender playing international football for Northern Ireland and scoring for Millwall in the Championship. It's brilliant to see. That's an example of staircasing, taking your time in our system, because there will be a pathway for you if you perform at the right time. Well, it seems he's got to the top of the stairs and there's nowhere else left to go, because they pulled a ladder out from under him, and he can't go any further in the Arsenal system, it seems. So they want to get rid, but then they want to put buyback clause in. All very weird, but like I said, with figures quoted of 3 million and 5 million, well out of Mill's price range, and even though he's very good for us, I think if we're going to spend 3 million, we would probably want to spend that on a striker who can score some goals. So our defence is pretty well sorted, to be honest with you. Our defence was a top notch for us last season. It was one of the main reasons why we did so well. So moving on now to this. This is FAI.ie. It's the Football Association of Ireland's website, and they have named their squad for the Nations League ties, 27-man squad, and Danny McNamara is not in the squad. He's not in the squad. There was some talk that he might get in. He was doing a lot of press, trying to boost himself up, put himself in the minds and in the picture, but it didn't come to fruition. They seem to have they've brought Cyrus Christie into the squad to replace the injured Matt Doherty, with the squad set to report at the weekend to begin preparations for the 4-match window. So I don't know if Danny's on standby. Maybe he is. If there's any injuries, he might get called up. I don't know, but we shall see. It is a bit of a grueling schedule, as you can see here. 4th of June they're in Yerevan in Armenia. Then they go back to Dublin and play Ukraine 4 days later. And 3 days later they play again at Dublin against Scotland. And then they are playing 3 days after that. They play Ukraine in Poland, in Lodz. So the games are coming thick and fast, and there's a lot of travelling as well. So we'll see if there's any injuries and if Danny gets an extra call up. I don't know, but yeah, you can see that, and just wasn't happening for him this time around. Moving on now to this, so the Championship page of SkySports.com, they have collated all of the players who've been released from the Championship teams. There are 4 clubs who haven't published their retained list yet, including the playoff finalists, of course, Huddersfield and Nottingham Forest. They don't really know which league they're going to be in, and that game is obviously this weekend, so we will then know who makes up next season's Championship. So let's have a quick look at this and see if there's anyone you fancy for Signing for Millwall. These are players released. They are free of contract. So there's Barnsley. I don't really know any of them except for that Klinushkas. Burnham City there. Anyone fancy any of them? Blackburn Rovers there. Bradley Johnson. Getting on a bit, isn't he? Probably a bit too old. For Blackpool there. Ethan Robson. Grant Ward. Bournemouth Gary Cowell is probably way too old now. Bristol City. Callum O'Dowda. Nathaniel Williams. Cardiff City, one of the teams who haven't published their list yet, which is weird because they have they've signed for like 4 players already, so that is weird. Derby County as well, the other one, probably because they're waiting for the new owners to come in, but they want to get a move on because they've got a month until the players' contracts run out. So Fulham have released a lot of players, and one of them is Cyrus Christie, who's taking up the place of Danny McNamara in Ireland's squad. Fair few players there. Some of them must be decent. Alfie Mawson. Don't know. What do you reckon? Hull City. Now I have someone that did mention Tom Eaves. If we wanted to go down the plan B, lump it up to the big man route and stick him on the bench, someone did mention Tom Eaves. Luton Town have letting a fair few go there. Elliot Lee, Sol Bamba, Lee Peltier. There's Mill's list there. We know all about that. Nottingham Forest obviously had not done their list yet. Preston North End. Loads of players being released by them, including Scott Sinclair, pictured there. And QPR, Lee Wallace. Were we not linked with Lee Wallace in the past? I'm pretty sure we were. Maybe Charlie Austin, some people have said. I don't think he will come to us. I think he wants somewhere closer to the Midlands. Maybe Forest Green Rovers if they've got the money. Reading. Junior Hoylett. I swear we've been linked with him in the past. Mark Minotti. Michael Morrison. What do you reckon? Any of them? I don't know why it's going up. Sheffield United. Luke Freeman. Remember him? Remember the 13 minutes he played for us against Fulham before getting injured? His contract's run out. We can pick him up on a free. And he can play another 13 minutes for us. What do you reckon? David McGoldrick there. Is he too old? Could he be a Phobie Mark II for us? I don't know. What do you reckon? He did alright this past season for them, didn't he? Stoke City. Fair few letting go. Decent players there. Tom Ince, James Chester. Swansea City. West Brom, Andy Carroll. Some people genuinely suggested that Andy Carroll. I'm like, come on, man, seriously. The guy is a waste man. Romain Sawyers, that was very big on Twitter with Millwall fans. They very much like the look of him. Look at his stats. His stats are a bit average, to be honest with you. Nothing to shout home about. Sam Johnson, why does that name ring a bell? Is he a goalkeeper? I'm not too sure, but not really many in that list, is there? Although these are the players released, so they're players who these clubs don't want and they're getting rid of them. Now obviously the players we'd like to go for are the ones that are on the books and the teams can't get rid of them, so they have to loan them out to reduce some of their wages, which is where we step in and we get a pretty decent player like Ollie Burke on a bit of a discount. So is that the better option than actually by signing one of these players and having to take on the contract ourselves. I don't know. What do you reckon? Any of these fancy eye? I mean, there's some worth taking a punt on, I suppose. But if you got to realise that a club like ours, if we get it wrong, it's not gonna be. It's not good for us if we sign someone and they don't perform, or they're out injured. It's really is devastating for what we're trying to do here. So I wonder. Now, we've seen in the previous story that they're focusing on attacking players, and Barrett did say earlier in the season young attacking players. So I don't think any of them will be on this list. Maybe young attacking players from League One teams, maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.